Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you to the jury who have given a good motion today. Introduce, my name is Lana Blaulfa, and my friend is Aurelia Radisti from the closing government team. We from government strongly disagree with the opposition team, and I agree with the opening government. Ladies and gentlemen, pursuant to Article 5, Paragraph 1 of Law Number 4 of 2004 concerning the basic provisions of judicial honor, stage the crown judges according to the law without distinguishing between people. Article 5, paragraph 1 is of course wider in scope than Article 20 AB, which state the judges according to the law, because the meaning of law here can be in the sense of written law or unwritten law. The importance of judges paying attention to unwritten laws and other aspects in state in the provision of Article 28, paragraph 1, which emphasize judges are obligated to explore, follow, and understand legal value and a sense of justice that life in society. Ladies and gentlemen, society has longed for justice for corruptors because so far corruptors have been given a preferential treatment through judges' decisions that aren't burdensome. The verdict handed down by judges Artijo at least has translated the wishes of the community. When corruption prevails and the verdict is not able to create a deterrence effect, considering that the judge's verdict is too light, many ideas arise to increase the sentence. The idea that emerged from the need to apply the death penalty. The bodies of corruptors didn't need to be paid for an impoverished corruptor. Ladies and gentlemen, a verdict that can make corruptor poor than before is an illegal break talk that is most likely to be applied in Indonesia because the various kids and because the various kind of punishment over, it is difficult to apply. The death penalty can indeed have a deterrent effect, but it's difficult to implement because it is considered contrary to human rights. This backdrop can also have a positive impact in maintaining the image of the rule of law because each individual, especially state official, tends to improve their attitude and action, such as not daring to toying with the law and plugging himself into the above of power. Ladies and gentlemen, the predicate of the rule of law description that everything must run according to clear rules. People were citizens life in order, tranquility, security, and justice. The law was modeled as a means to create such conditions. As a means, he is more on the process to achieve maximum result. The process must run optimal as well. Hard side that to create justice. The law must include three elements of value, namely obligation, moral, and will. Moreover, the law cannot be separated from the moral dimension. So, if you want to create justice in society, the moral element must be fulfilled. The lack of a sense of justice or the failure of law enforcement in society to that is more often due to the absence of guarding or moral integrity from the enforcement office. Ladies and gentlemen, if ever to improve system corruptor are applied consistently to all lines of law enforcement, it can have a positive impact on reducing corrupt behavior. Many analysts state that corruption is a calculative crime. People are tempted to corrupt tens of billions, even hundreds of billions, because they know the sentence is at most 10 years. The deducted remission can stay 7 years, even because he still has a lot of money. He can control the business from inside the prison. It could be that corruption is a deliberate crime to increase business capital by stealing people money. Prior to corruption, they had already calculated the plus and minus, including the calculation of the remaining money left when they left the prison. Ladies and gentlemen, um, I can conclude here that the verdict handed down by the judges with the substance of impoverishing corruption is a progressive step in eradicating or overcoming corruption in Indonesia. I think just enough. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, the member of this house, and my honorable to the adjudicator. Thank you for opportunity that have given to us. I'm Aurelia Risti, the third speaker. Allow me to argue and discuss the argument presented by the opposition team, as well as to elaborate on some of argument that speaker one and two of the government have presented. I'm the third speaker totally agree with this motion. Why? I agree with the speaker one and to say that we are going to impoverish corruptor. We mean that would be punished by impoverishment is corruptor who have stolen billions or half amount of money. Ladies and gentlemen, in the currency of the cool, like that speaker once said, we have seen everywhere around the world save a few countries where corruptor escape punishment. Just with slap in the waist that punishment is often time light and not only it is detrimental to the people. We can see many cases of people repeatedly corrupting over and over again. Ladies and gentlemen, society has longed for justice for corruptors because so far corruptors have been given preferential treatment through judges' decisions that are not burdensome. The verdict handed down by judges when corruption prevails and the verdict is not able to correct the different effect, considering that the judge's verdict is too light. Many ideas arise to increase the sentence. The idea that emerged from the need to apply the death penalty, the bodies of corruptor did not need to be tried for the proposal of group of clergy and impoverished corruptor. Ladies and gentlemen, a verdict that can make corruptor poorer than before is a legal breakthrough that is more likely to be applied in Indonesia. Because the first kind of punishment offered, it's difficult to apply. The death penalty can indeed have a deterrent effect, but is difficult to implement because it is considered contrary to human rights. This breakthrough can also have a positive impact in maintaining the image of a rule of law, because each individual, especially state official, tries to improve their attitudes and action. Sakas not daring to toying with the law and plunging himself into the abuse of power. Ladies and gentlemen, the predicate of the rule of law describes that everything must run according to clear rules. People want citizen life in order, tranquility, security, and justice. The law was made as a means to create such condition. As a mean, he is more on the process. To achieve maximum result, the process must run optimally as well. And Therefore, the law cannot be separated from the moral dimension. So, if you want to create justice in society, the moral element must be fulfilled. To lack a sense of justice or the failure of law enforcement in society of that. Ladies and gentlemen, if the analysis is true, then there is no punishment that reduces the crime of corruption other than punishment that impoverishes the corruptor. Over time, people will think why corruption will end up being poor. Corruption can only be reduced by creating conditions that can change the paradigm of the perpetrators of corruption. The creation of that condition is to make a person pure again after his evil behavior is relieved and declared. Ladies and gentlemen, I can conclude here that the verdict handed down by the judges with the substance of impoverishing corruptor is a progressive step in eradicating or overcoming corruption in Indonesia. So, in the end, I'm for the closing government absolutely agree with this motion because one, impoverishing corruptors can count the number of corruptors in Indonesia. Two, people will be afraid to do corruption because they are afraid to being poor. And three, and the main point is the Indonesian government system will improve and the people will trust the government. From this conclusion, we are sure and believe that this motion will stand until the end. And I declare that I strongly agree with this motion. Thank you.